wow, this Zulu chick is really great. I wonder if I could pay her money to continue creating stuff. And the really amazing thing is that she didn't sell herself to me. I just discovered her work on Medium. Her work is just that good.
Raise your hand if that's a fantasy you've had before. My name is Zulu and I create videos about how to grow your blogging empire. We don't like to talk about this, but there's a lot of money in blogging, and one of the biggest things that holds people back from accessing that money is their fear of sales. I hate selling. I used to hate selling. I used to really think that it was a dirty word, something that I had to resort to in order to make money. I really believed that if my content was good enough, it would sell itself, and I could keep my hands clean of that nasty S word. This stemmed from a very deep-seated insecurity that I believed my work wasn't good enough to ask money for. And for a long time, I believed I didn't have to. This delusion was furthered by platforms like YouTube and Medium, where all you have to do is post content and then you do earn some money. I ignored the fact that I was having to sell, like marketing stuff, coming up with titles, recommending my content to other people. That's all part of the whole sales pipeline. But I pretended it wasn't. I pretended I could just purely create amazing content and not worry about anything else. Then I got a little ambitious. I was like, well, you know, if people like my content, I bet they'll like if I create really good premium stuff that they have to pay me directly for. So I created a course. I created the Medium Publications course 101, and I was so proud of it. I put in so much work and effort, everything I knew about publications, anything that would create replicable success for anybody who took it. I created it and I posted it on my website, and I waited for the sales to roll in because, again, my content was good enough. I had website visitors. Surely they would simply see it and buy it. Spoiler alert, nobody bought it. It shouldn't be a huge surprise because I didn't sell it. I had spent all this time building an email list that I was terrified to sell to. I just hoped that they would magically discover the content and decide to pay me money just because. If you want to make money as a content creator, that's the pill you're gonna have to swallow. You have to learn how to sell. And you can't just learn how to sell, you have to learn how to enjoy sales and look forward to them and figure out a way to make that part of your happy process. Otherwise, you're gonna be struggling. This is where a lot of creators have this sort of weird cognitive dissonance in their head. They believe that they're creating good stuff that's worth paying for, but they're terrified to sell it because they don't think that they deserve it. Do you see how those two beliefs kind of conflict? And if you believe one, you really can't believe the other. That's what's causing a lot of you a lot of real unhappiness right now because, you know, you're posting stuff on YouTube, you're posting stuff on your blog, but you're not making real money because you haven't figured out how to sell. I want to talk about why it's important to sell, not just like the marketing aspect of titles and content recommendation, but actually figuring out how to create products to sell and why that's important. I want to talk about the mindset shift that let me do that in a happy, fulfilling way. And I want to end by reminding everyone that what you create is worth money. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Why selling matters. For the past 10 years, there's been this weird kind of, if it's online, it should be free. I should be able to get entertained for free on Twitter. I should be able to see memes for free on Tumblr. I should be able to read newspaper articles for free on the New York Times and stuff. If it's online, people just believe that it should be free and that you would be happy to be paid in exposure. Now, I had an issue with this from the start because I was like, well, if I'm creating content that's valuable to people and it's clearly valuable because they enjoy it, then I should be getting paid for it because that's how else am I gonna continue creating it? I'm not gonna just do it for fun. And that's why I was really drawn to Medium and YouTube versus like Twitter, because those at least had programs in place to help people sell their content and earn some money. YouTube sells ad space, Medium sells memberships, so you could earn some money by profit sharing with them, basically. It was kind of a win-win. But platforms change, algorithms shift, and also if you're sharing your income with somebody else, even if they're doing all the work of distribution, you're still not getting paid your true worth as a content creator. So the first thing you have to do is understand that what you're doing, if it's doing well on YouTube, if it's doing well on your blog, it's worth more money than you're being paid. Take that for a minute and sit with it. Okay. Now this is why it matters. At the very bottom of a scale, there's something like creating a good tweet. You don't earn practically any money from that. I've actually asked people who create viral tweets how much money they earn, and it's like $10 to $20 through sponsorships. That's the very low end of sales. All you do is create a viral tweet. That's it. In the middle of the scale, there's something like Medium or YouTube, where there's a program in place to ensure that you get compensated at least somewhat for the work that you produce. Medium, at least, I love the business model. I love that I get paid to grow my audience. And for YouTube, I like the ad revenue model less, but I still enjoy it. I still make some money through YouTube, and I'm happy with that. If you go even further up the scale and remove those outside influences altogether, and it's just you and your audience, there's no middleman, there's no middle management or whatever. It's just you, the content, the valuable content you create, and an audience who wants to buy it. So the further up the scale you get, the more money you're gonna make. And if you are like me and you enjoy creating content, both for free, like on Twitter, on blogs, behind some paywalls, like on Medium, then this is really critical to your business model, because no matter what, if you're not earning a fair amount of money, at some point you're gonna burn out. At some point it's not gonna be worth your while to continue. Direct sales is the only thing that's gonna enable you to create a valuable and actually forward-moving business model. So that's why sales are important. You've got this scale, right? And that's the closer you get to pure sales, the more money you're gonna make and the more sustainable your business becomes. Now I wanna get into the mindset shift that allows you to actually kind of get to grips with sales. So in that beginning, remember the anecdote, I posted my course on my website. I think I might have even sent out one email to 0 purchases. I spent all this time creating this course. I know it's a good course. And what's more is I know that if people buy it, they will get that value from me. How can I sell it? And that was the first time that I actually made the connection between like making money and the value that I'm creating. So if you're struggling with selling, ask yourself, what are you selling? Do you genuinely believe it's valuable? Do you? If you don't, then why are you selling it? And if you do believe it's valuable, then draw on that emotion. You have to genuinely believe that your audience will benefit from having purchased this from you. And if they benefit, then you benefit, because you can continue creating awesome products and services that they love to get from you. That's the really critical thing. You have to believe in your value as a creator. Secondly, you have to believe that you deserve that money. So this is part of the issue with the whole digital free era that thankfully is now coming to an end. Your audience might kind of resent you asking for money. Most people won't. Most people will understand that you're creating good content and you deserve to be paid for it, the same as like a dentist or somebody who writes books. But you might get a couple people who are a little like,
excuse me, why are you charging money for this? Like, it's just an article, or it's just a template, or it's just a guide.
I used to dread those emails. I used to really hate them because I felt like they'd really like seen me, and I was somehow trying to scam the system by making money by creating awesome products. So the second thing you have to realize is that not only is your content valuable, but that you deserve to earn money for that content. That your audience is happy to pay you for the value that you're creating for them. That what you have is a skill, it's a talent, not everybody has it, and the ability of you to give that to other people, that's really, really worthwhile, and that you deserve to earn money from that. Just the same as you do for any other job that you do or any other service you provide. When I worked as an account manager and I sold products to companies, they never questioned that they had to pay money for it. Sometimes they wanted to pay less, but they always understood that I was selling something that somebody else had created that was gonna bring them value. They understood why they had to pay. Take that mindset and apply it to your own work. Your work is valuable and you deserve to be paid. And the third question you should ask yourself that's gonna help you develop this mindset shift: what will your audience be able to do that they wouldn't be able to do without your product? So this was my biggest issue. Even once I realized that my content was valuable, even once I realized that I deserved to be paid, I still hesitated from selling because I was like, well, I don't wanna inundate people with emails. I don't wanna like make them think that I don't have anything to offer of value. I flipped this on its head and I said, well, okay, well, I know a lot of my followers struggle getting into publications. If I don't let them know about this product, if I don't like send multiple emails and I don't offer multiple chances to get a hold of the product, what are they gonna miss out on? They're gonna miss out on the biggest solution to their biggest problem. That was what finally enabled me to create the product, attach a price tag to it, and actually market it to my list. And I ended up making over $4,000 in sales, and I don't feel like I scammed the system or like hacked my audience, because I know that I created something super valuable. I know that I created something worthwhile and that I deserve to be paid for that. And I know that with that product, my audience is accomplishing things that they could not have done otherwise. And the only reason people bought it was because I emailed them about it. Those are the 3 things that will help you develop a selling mindset and actually enjoy sales. Like, I love creating sales emails and I love creating landing pages because it means I get to educate my audience on how this product that I've created is going to solve their problems that I know that they've struggled with. The better you know your audience, the easier and the more fun this will be. And for me, like, it's honestly a joy now, and I love that feeling. I always believed in myself and my content, but I also believed that I didn't deserve to earn money for it. And now that I've sort of fixed that mindset, my whole business is much more enjoyable and honestly much more rewarding. Financially, obviously, but also mentally, emotionally. It's just great, and I'm excited for you to get to where I am because it's a much better feeling than, you know, worrying that you don't really deserve to sell stuff. There are tons of different ways to create sales emails or landing pages or courses, but the first step is realizing that you're never going to be discovered. If you want to make money doing what you love, you have to be your biggest fan, you have to be your biggest advocate, and you have to believe that you deserve to earn money creating valuable content that solves problems for your audience. And once you do that, once you make that mental shift, once you understand that, you are gonna be in a much happier place, you're gonna be making so much more money, and you're gonna have created a sustainable business that will go on creating content for the people who really need it, the people who love what you do and wanna support you. And, you know, they get valuable content from it as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know. I feel like this is one of the biggest problems my audience faces, is this sort of like fear of sales. So let me know what you thought. Where are you struggling? Where are you hung up? Did this help at all? Are you excited to start creating products and selling them to your audience? And hopefully you no longer think of sales as a dirty or bad word, because it's honestly, it's one of the joys of being a content creator, is creating valuable content that, you know, you deserve to be paid for and knowing that it's going to solve problems for others. That's the dream. All right, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye. Ad space. And that was finally able